What is going on, Strasburg High? Welcome to episode 6 of the Silver Spike Podcast, celebrating the joining of the Transcontinental Railroad. We're your hosts. I'm Mitch.
I'm Jonah.
And I'm Jacob.
It is fantastic to have you here today. Today is Monday, October 21st, 2019. I hope you're all having a spectacular morning and a great start to your week. And yeah, so what school events are happening this week?
This week we are having a volleyball game at home versus Brush, and we're also going to be having a football game on Friday at home. I think it's at home. Yeah, we're going to be having a football game at home on Friday, so do show up for those things. And yeah,
there's a band concert tonight. We're all in the band, and yeah, we'd all love to see you there.
if you would show up, that would be amazing.
Yes, band concert tonight, 6:30 in the big gym. Come out, listen to us play some tunes, and yeah, jam out with us. World events going on right now. One of the biggest things going on right now in the news is the situation between the United States, Turkey, and Syria. If you are unfamiliar of what is happening right now, it's okay, because I don't know either. I'm just kidding. Of course I know what's going on. So pretty much what's the big news is President Trump ordered the U.S. forces to exit northern Syria, and they're pretty much left the Kurds, which are the Turkish soldiers, right? Yeah.
Like the
I believe,
fighters.
Yeah, they're the rebels.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of dispute and a lot of controversy whether this is the right course of action, and if it's, if it is the right course of action, and if it's the right thing to do. If you don't know what Turkey or Syria is, they are countries. Turkey, I believe, is in Europe, and
it's part Europe, part Asia.
Okay. It's like in the middle, Turkey is, and then Syria is in the Middle East. So we'll post a picture of a map, and it'll show you where it is. And we are back. Look at that, amazing editing skills. So, what do you guys feel about this? Do you think pulling troops out of northern Syria is a good option?
Well, I honestly don't really know enough about the subject to really give any opinion on it, but what I do know is that members of both of the major political parties are against it, and so it's definitely a very, very controversial move for the president. We'll just have to see how this goes and report back to you when we get more information.
Yeah, I think most people are kind of looking at this like, should he have done that? Yeah. So, if you were to think about the pros and cons of doing this, what would actually be a good thing that would come out of pulling troops out of Syria? What do you think would be a benefit? Because I don't know, because people are worried that this could lead to the return of ISIS because of a lot of prison breaks and the depletion of rebel forces, since they don't have that ally support. And we're kind of seeing that already, and this is something a lot of people fear, because no one wants us to just basically undo everything that we worked so hard to accomplish for the past 6 years or so, maybe even longer.
Yeah.
So I think that's why most people are very skeptical about this, because they kind of see it for those two main reasons, and it really hasn't been discussed much, what good would come out of pulling those troops out of Syria. So yeah, again, kind of like what Jacob said, I want to know more information about the other side and why it could be a good thing.
So to me, there has to be something else going on in order for, Trump to pull out all the forces in Syria. There has to be a factor why they're doing it. And as of right now, I don't think we know the factor. We probably do, but I'll have to dig in a little bit to see why. But We're just going to have to just wait a little bit and see how the results come out and see if it's beneficial or if it's non-beneficial, and it puts Syria and Turkey in risk. So we will have a follow-up of the situation here in a couple weeks, and we'll inform you of what happens. Welcome to this week's segment of Pop News, where we talk about stuff that pops up in the news. So within the past few weeks, there has been a new meme going around of people asking the question, how many times do you have to slap a chicken in order to cook it? If you haven't heard of this meme before, you're probably thinking to yourself, what? So, there's a meme going around where people say if you slap a chicken, like a raw chicken, if you slap it enough, then it'll cook it. So, and there have been people who put this into effect, and they tested it out and they tried to prove it using mathematical equations. So yeah, if you want to see a confusing math equation, here's a picture. And we are back. So what's your guys' opinion? Do you think you can cook a chicken by slapping it?
Well, just while sitting here, I did a little bit of research, a little bit of math, and what I found, this may not be completely 100% reliable because calculations might be off, information might be flawed, but what I found is that if you were to cook a chicken in a single slap, you would have to slap it at 198 miles per hour, so I don't think it's realistic. I think it's possible, but not realistic.
I don't know. What's the exact number? And do they give like an average amount of force? Because basically, it's like, yeah, you could basically cook something by slapping it enough times. Basically, because you're just giving it energy every time you slap it.
Yeah.
And basically, if you give enough energy, it's gonna cook. So it's like, it shouldn't be a surprise, but
It is.
it is.
Yeah.
It's just something no one thinks about. Like, if you slap anything hard enough times, technically you could burn it.
Yeah. So I just looked it up, and there are several mathematical equations of people trying to figure this out. Even a physics professor wrote his own equation. It all depends on how fast you slap it, and how hard you slap it, and how long you slap the chicken for. So, according to this mathematical equation, if I can find the answer.
Hold on, they have
okay.
homework.
Wait, what?
They
Why?
have homework?
Why does a website assign you homework? That's dumb. So it says here it would take 49,000 slaps to cook a chicken. That's assuming a very high slap speed. So if you slap a chicken 49,000 times in a very fast pace, you will cook your chicken. So here's a trivia question. Suppose you slap a chicken once every second. You want to eat the chicken at 6 p.m. What time should you start slapping?
Can we put these homework problems?
Now we start slapping now.
All right, we need these homework problems on Physics LE. No kidding.
Ask Mr. Lesky. He will put them on.
No. This is difficult.
My estimate for a slap speed was high. Too high. Use video analysis or something to get a better slap speed. Please don't hit people. That's not nice.
Yeah, please do not slap your chicken. This is theoretical here.
Okay, here's my other question. How do you prevent your hand from being cooked? Because you're slapping the chicken and it's cooking it, your hand's also going to cook. So how would you prevent your hand from cooking?
Basically, you give 49,000 people together, they all take one big slap at this chicken.
Or more realistically, you just divide it up among less people. Like, you get 7 of your friends over, say, hey guys, we're each going to slap this chicken 7,000 times. We're in for a good night.
Basically, divide the work. I mean, if it takes 49,000 times slaps to cook the chicken, your hand's not going to cook if you do it less than that, so you have to divide the work.
So, true. Those are all good examples and really good estimations on how to prevent your hand from cooking. Why not just wear a thermal glove? Or a heat-proof glove?
If you get a heat-proof glove, would that lessen the slap?
Well,
I mean,
here's the thing.
well-
You're still going to be like colliding with the glove, and then every action has an equal but opposite reaction. So
Yeah.
every time you slap the chicken, technically the chicken slaps you back.
Ooh.
And so
True,
the same amount of heat you're going to be causing on that chicken is going to be caused on the glove, which is going to be causing your hand to still heat up. I don't think there's
True.
any way to actually prevent.
But does it have to be your hand? Can you have like a spatula or a wooden spoon and just?
Yeah, just make sure it's wooden so
Well,
it doesn't.
I would say that's smacking by that point rather than slapping.
Okay, smacking.
It depends on how you define slap, and it's like if you're going to do this, you need to make sure you use a utensil that is probably wooden.
And that's all the time we have for this segment.
We have to slap a chicken 49,000 times in order to cook it. The mass of the chicken is around 2 kilograms. The mass of hand is around 200 grams. And you have to have a slapping speed of 3 meters per second. So, or 5 meters per second. And you have to have an energy factor of 0.5%. So, you're going to be slapping for a very, very long time in order to cook your chicken. Probably this is an all-day thing. It's like how you cook for Thanksgiving. You cook all day. Well, instead of putting a turkey in an oven and sitting back and watching TV, you're slapping a chicken.
Slapping a chicken at 3 meters per second is faster than my average jogging speed. Over 6 miles an hour.
So, yeah,
Wow.
10 miles per hour for you customary.
And I mean,
slap
technically,
there.
if you're slapping that thing 49,000 times,
Your arm's going to be pretty sore.
we're going to be slapping for multiple hours. Technically, we would be slapping, I don't know, dozens of miles per hour. We would be slapping a marathon here, guys.
Oh boy.
Why don't we just drum on the chicken?
We just get like a drumstick.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Roll.
Roll drumsticks on the chicken.
Or why don't we just stick it in an oven? How about that?
We can do that, but it won't be fun.
That's amazing.
That's all the time we have for this episode. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you. We really appreciate it. Hope you all have a very fantastic week. And until then, remember to keep those grades up, and we'll see you next time. Silver Spike, out.